No, your video wasn't frozen. Just me. Habs win! Woo! Let's go! The Habs beat the Detroit Red Wings 4-1 in Montreal. I just scared my cat with the woo. I always do. Let's go! Like, there's so many things I want to talk about because I don't even believe this is real life anymore. And yes, I'm gonna cite Quinn, and yes, it will be the title of the video, but is this the real life? Demidov? Did you, unless you're living under a rock, hey, Ivan Demidov is a Montreal Canadien now, like under contract Montreal Canadien. He was released by SKA St. Petersburg and will probably be joining the Habs Saturday in Toronto, but will probably debut in Montreal on Monday against the Chicago Blackhawks. Just wanted to get that off before I even go into the game against Detroit and what it means for the Habs. Just wanted to mention that little titty bit of information that I was just astonished, and I was just shocked all day, and my whole production yesterday was horrible because I could not think of anything else other than Demidov being signed by the Habs. And fun fact, I was scrolling through Reddit during some downtime and I saw, hey, someone has signed for a 3-year contract. I'm like, oh wow, is it Demidov? And I go and it's Tyler Thorpe. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool acquisition. He's apparently they have a lot of trust in this guy. Cool. I just kind of thought it was gonna be Demidov, but like, no, that's impossible. It's been established that Demidov will not be joining the Habs this year. Why would I get my hopes up? Well, I'm being silly and whatnot. And then I go to work for a couple hours more, and then on lunchtime I'm just there scrolling through Reddit again. I'm there like, wait, what? Demidov released by SKA? Am I dreaming? What's happening? And then like soon after, signed immediately. What? Excuse me? Holy moly. What? He's joining us for the playoffs? So many things. Like, part of me, I mean, I'm obviously, as you can see, really enjoying the moment of being a Habs fan. After years of pain, frustration, of having our best players be the Pitlick trio, like, we now have arrived, and this is amazing. Like, this is such a good feeling. And like, if 2 years ago, say that's 2023, so well, that's actually, we had already drafted Hudson 3 years ago. So 2022, before the 2022 draft, well, we were already at the bottom of the league and about to draft Slavkovsky because we're about to get the first overall pick, and we're fully tanking pretty much. If 3 years ago I was gonna tell you, hey, in 3 years from today, our 62nd overall pick in the following draft, who will be debuting in the NHL that season, playing his rookie season, we'll tear the league apart, we'll break all the records, and we'll tie Chelios for the most points as a rookie Hab, and we'll, carry the team into the playoffs alongside Nick Suzuki, who I don't remember if he was already captain by 2022. Anyways, who's a captain and who's gonna be over a point per game player. And Caulfield is also gonna approach 40 goals. I wrote everything down, and we're gonna have our one of our Russian prospects leave early Russia to join us for the playoffs. Because we're making the playoffs, obviously. You probably would have put me in an insane asylum or something like that. Because Who would have thought that? What? Like, are you insane? But 3 years, and look where we are. At the beginning of the season, we were thinking this was going to be the first Habs team in Habs history, which is, almost over 100 years old. That we were going to be the first team in Habs history to miss the playoffs for more than 4 seasons in a row. They looked at that and they said, no, we're not going down the books with that record. Let's go down the books with the other records. Let's put our rookie defenseman all the way up there. Let's have our goalie reach 30 wins. Let's have our goal scorer get close to 40 for the first time in forever. Let's have our first line center approach 90 for the first time in a while. And let's tear the league apart after the 4 nations. Let's go on a 6-game winning streak to pretty much secure our playoff position. I've been on cloud 9 for 2 weeks now, and I don't want to come down. It's been such a pleasure to watch this team develop the way they have been, because they went down the first period. Again, it was a Matheson. It wasn't even a giveaway this time. It was just a bad read on the play. It was just, like a bad play from Matheson. Again, that ends in the back of our net. And you know what? I wasn't even worried. I was just like, okay, they scored the first one. At this point, you'd be a little dumb to think that that's it for the Habs. Have you been watching? Have you been paying attention to the last games? Of course they're going to come back. Of course they're going to grind it out and make it a game. And they do. Hudson with an amazing play off the wall to fit Suzuki to Matheson. Matheson shoots, and Caulfield in the crease, like in front of the crease. Caulfield has... By the way, I need to shout out to Caulfield. I know it's the wrong number, but hey, 50% off. I'm taking that. Caulfield has improved so much. Again, let's go back 3 years ago. Caulfield was not going into the front of the crease. He was taking all the shots from the outside and like from a prime shooting position, but he was not scoring like this. That goal he scored yesterday, yeah. 37th, I think it is. Yeah. Has 4 more games to play. He could reach 40. I don't think he does it personally, unless he like scores a hattie against Chicago. That could be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just exciting. I'm just so excited for what's next. And okay, so we scored that greedy goal in front of the net. He just has his stick. He frees his stick and goes past Talbot, who, by the way, was pretty good during the first period. I'm like, were you even surprised? I mean, obviously I was relieved. Yes, it's nice to see a goal. I did celebrate a lot, but like, I was not surprised per se. And then our third line, they go. They bring what they've been bringing the last few weeks to a month now, and they generate a good scoring chance. And Hudson with the ankle breaker plays feeds Anderson, who just barely misses. It would have been a beautiful assist also. Hudson doesn't get an assist, but with that play, with that ankle breaker play, he just fed so much energy to the Bell Center. It just completely filled everyone, and he fed the fans, and the fans fed the rest of the team. It was just a precious loop to watch, to see develop as the crowd lost it to Hudson's play, and then the team just came out flying from there. And then the next shift for the third line, they score a beauty. Like Gallagher with all the energy in the world. Like, what? Excuse me? Where? What? How? It's just like forechecks hard, then Anderson comes in and like just with the forecheck, the helmet goes flying from one of the defensemen from Detroit, and he has to go retrieve the helmet or get off the ice, which just leaves Anderson wide open, and Dvorak somehow finds him. Like, I have been the biggest Dvorak criticizer for, or probably not the biggest, but I've been criticizing Dvorak for the longest time. The last 2 years, I've been criticizing him. You know, like, I wasn't making videos back then, but I was like, Dvorak has the puck in the offensive zone. Of course, nothing comes out of it because he just didn't have the touch. But now, like, I'm gonna be kind of sad when he leaves, because I don't think he's getting re-signed, or maybe re-signed by, like, it would be. I don't think so. I think we have a lot of prospects that need to come play, but whatever. I digress. It will be kind of sad when he leaves, because he's been amazing. He's been lights out for a month now, and he finds Anderson super fast, and game-winning goal right there. And then it's Gallagher with the empty netter to relieve all the pressure of the offensive push by Detroit. And we kind of put Detroit in the coffin with that one. So the nails are not in there yet. I think they still have like a 0.5% chance of making the playoffs. And we still haven't clinched yet. We still have like 5% chances of not making it or something like that. So there's still a lot we need to do, but what a time to be a Habs fan. What a time to be a Habs fan. Laine? Having Laine on that power play, did you think, like, again, going back 3 years ago, I was going to tell you, oh yeah, Laine is going to be ripping power one-timer slap shots for us in the power play. Again, straight to the jail. Asylum, in this case, but yeah. Woo! That felt nice to get off, share the excitement with you guys. Oh, by the way, I have a surprise for the end of the video, so stick around if you wanna see. I wanna start doing something at the end of every video. You'll see. So yeah, it's a 6-game win streak, and Suzuki close to 90, Caulfield pushing 40 goals, Monty with 30 wins. But it was once again a slow start, and even though Matheson had this horrible read that led to a goal for Detroit, he was really good later, honestly. Like, let's call him out for the bad things he does, but let's praise him for the good things he does. And he was amazing in the PK. You could really see the effort from him on that. And the PK and one shorthand, and when they pull the goalie also. Like, he is crucial to the team at those spots. And I didn't love the shots he's taking on the second unit of the power play. I know that the second unit of power plays is meant to be more of a shooting unit, or that's what the commentators keep saying. You know, I don't play hockey, so I absorb everything I read from multiple parts and everything the commentators say, right? So if they say, you know, the second power play unit is supposed to shoot more because they have less time, because they don't get to set in the zone, it makes sense. Okay, so they are more of a shooting unit. It feels like they default to Matheson's shot a lot faster than I would like, because they don't move to create a lane for a pass. Like, I understand shooting mentality, perfect, go for it, but he's shooting from the slot every time. Now, the first one he missed really wide. The second one he does put it on goal at least, but yeah, I didn't love our power play yesterday. Actually, we had 2 chances, and the first unit they struggled to set up in the zone. Detroit, I think, did a really good job pressuring at the right times at the neutral zone to not allow us to set in, or to waste a lot of our time to set in. So then we only got like 1 shot, and I think Laine and Caulfield switched spots, and then Laine took the shot, wrister, but it was deflected, you know. So I didn't love the power play, and I think if we do want to make an impact in the playoffs, we're going to have to figure out multiple variations of the power play, right? I do think I have seen them play with multiple different strategies, like having Caulfield go to the bumper spot, or Caulfield on the other side of the post for the Slavkovsky cross-crease pass. Apart from obviously having Line threatening the one-timer, right? Suzuki and Hudson switch. So like there has been some dynamic movement to the power play, and I do think they have multiple options, but they default to the line of shot more often than not. Obviously, if it's there, take it. It's your most lethal weapon right now. But yeah, yesterday wasn't great. I do think Hudson is incredible for getting the zone entry, as he is really good at faking or at turning his skates to the drop pass to Suzuki and reading really fast what the other team is reacting to that, to see if they're going to prevent the drop pass, or if they're pressuring him, and he decides to either fake it or do it, right? So sometimes if the defending team pressures the drop pass, Hudson usually fakes it and makes the zone entry himself. Sometimes when he does that, it's hard for us to get established. So we still need to work on that, of course. But it's just amazing that we finally have that, because if you always do the drop shot like we were doing last season with Matheson on the power play, like some teams are just going to read that and like it becomes impossible to enter the zone. So we still struggle with the zone entry, but we did get there in the end, and we did have a few chances, but not the best ones. Anyways, more of that later. This is already going to be a longish video, so I don't want to go too much in detail there. But yeah, I just wanted to mention Matheson, how great he was on the PK, and like let's recognize the effort he did there. And yes, of course, we are upset about the bad decision in the beginning, but he is what he is. Did you know that we only pay him like 4.9 mil per year on average, and that he was traded for Petrie? If he was our number one defenseman who we either drafted in the first round or we paid a lot of assets to get, and we were paying him $7 million a year or something like that, sure, rip him apart. We're paying him less than 5 mil. Like, Gulli is going to be the most expensive defenseman next year because he begins his new contract. And we acquired him for Petrie, who wanted out. Like, put it in context. Yeah, he has a lot of responsibilities. He's been being more comfortable in playing a shutdown role, which he didn't get to do before. So he has proven to be fairly reliable when we need him to be. I do want to say just one more thing about the first period. We were a little too careless with the puck in our zone. Like, we had way too many turnovers or passes that were difficult to grab, or just straight up bad passes that the Detroit Red Wings caught in the neutral zone, or were able to pressure fast in the neutral zone to get possession of the puck again and send it into the O zone again, their O zone, our D zone, to generate scoring chances. And that's mostly how they got those 23 shots to 4. And even though the shot differential was 23-4, which makes you believe like, holy moly, we were getting smoked, the first period didn't feel like that. So I believe, and don't quote me on this, but most of the shots from Detroit were not very dangerous shots. Like, a lot of them were like pucks that were like trickling into Montembeault, and he would just cover. And those counts as shots sometimes. So yes, it was 23 to 4 shots, but only like 5 or 6 were dangerous, which is a lot more than you'd want on one period for sure. But Monty was sharp. He had to be really sharp, and he was, and he has been sharp for us the last few games. So yeah, he's been great. I hope we can clinch soon to give him some rest. And talking about that, I will go back to game comments in a second here. But speaking about rest, I was just saying to my fiance earlier today that it would be great for us to clinch fast so that we can rest some players. I was thinking, Anderson, maybe even Suzuki. Like, if they're playing with some nagging injuries or if they're tired, it would be nice for them to get some little rest. And then I second-guessed myself because as a person that played competitive sports, when you are in the mood, when you are in a push, you give it all you have. And you fully focus on that. And if you take a few days off for either you got slightly injured or you had to do something, it takes you off that mood. And it's not easy to get back into it. I was never a professional athlete, I'll say that. So maybe they know how to get back into the mood really fast, and rest will be really good for them. But I also feel like there is the risk of them losing the pace if they go on a rest. I don't know. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Like, it could be really good for some players. It could be really bad for some others. Like, Suzuki has been on a tear since the Four Nations. So the rest there was really good for him. Not that he had an option. But I wonder if given the option now, say we clinch on Friday, if given the option, if he would take some time off. I don't know. I don't know if it would be good for him or if he just wants to continue playing and carry all that momentum and continue playing like they have been into the playoffs, Not sure. What do you think? All right. Talking again about the game again. I didn't love the refs. Usually I'm fairly chill about the refs, but there's this one thing that really annoys me, and it's the consistency. And the consistency on the same calls. So Anderson gets a penalty in the first period for that stick lift on Sherrod, who loses his stick, and they call interference for that. Fair. Like, all right, they're going to call this. But then when we were on the power play, I forget which power play it was, Kapanen was in front, and his stick gets lifted and shot into the air, and he doesn't have a stick anymore. And it's pretty much exactly the same play that sent Anderson to the box, but they don't call that one. And I kind of lose my marbles when that happens because I'm like, where's the consistency? Like, why do you call Anderson and you don't call the other one? Like, if you're gonna call that, call them for both teams, right? Or don't call them at all. Anyways, so yeah, just wanted to quickly throw that in. But usually I'm fairly chill. The rest of the game was okay with the refs. I once again didn't love Slav's taking a dump, and Slavkovsky taking a dump penalty right after we score. It's been like 2 or 3 games in a row that we score and we gain some momentum and we're like, yes, we're finally in the lead, or we're finally tied up, and we are like, yes, push hard, let's go. Slavkovsky takes a penalty in the offensive zone. It happened against Boston. I'm pretty sure it happened against Nashville. Maybe I'm thinking of Boston. Anyways, it's happened more than once in the last few games. Not something you want to see from your first line winger when we need the push, when we need to grab the momentum, take it and carry it and push hard. Like, everyone is excited. Everyone, like, the Ball Center is chanting all S with the game tied for some reason, and the fans are loving it, and like, you're absorbing all that energy, and you take a down penalty in the offensive zone and you go into the penalty kill and everything goes to the bin. Yeah. Our PK bails him out once again, so that's great. But yeah, I didn't love that. Otherwise, I did like his game. I didn't. He was in a fairly physical battle against Smart Sider from Detroit, who have been in a battle all 4 games of the season that they've played. And I think Sider actually wins this one. I have to give it to him. So I think he was more physical. I think he had Slav's number yesterday. Slav kind of just didn't retaliate too much, like he did with Sidorov. I think Slav, when we were playing Boston and Sidorov was being physical on him, Slav got mad, and he actually played mad. And I've said this before, he usually plays really well when he plays mad. It seems like he didn't get too mad playing against Cider, even though he was being bullied around. But he didn't have a bad game. Just when I saw the Cider hit on him that sent him to the boards, that was not boarding, so it was a legal hit, but like a heavy hit, right? I thought he was gonna get mad and play like he plays when he's mad. He didn't. He still played okay. Anyways, I already praised our third line, and that I'll be surprised and sad when Dvorak leaves, and that I do want to say that Anderson has been lights out compared to last year. Like, dude has worked so hard during the summer to adapt his game, to rethink his game, to like, he had to have gone through some retrospect. I don't know if that's the right word, but thinking to himself what he can do to add value to this team. Obviously, or what we think as fans, is that during last season, Marty tried to... he gave him too many tools. He gave him too many things to think about, and that's not Anderson's game. So it has been really fun seeing Anderson play this season, because he has simplified his game, and it's been great. Like, yes, he isn't a scoring machine like we somewhat expected him to be 2 or 3 years ago, right? But he's been crucial. Like, he scored yesterday's game-winning goal. Like, it's almost hard for me to say that. I don't know why. And during the first period, he was one of the few Habs out there that was giving some energy to the crowd with every single hit, because he had 2 massive hits that gave the crowd some and like, when you're playing at home, you want that. You need that. You need to feed the crowd to then feed off from the crowd, right? So him and Gulli, I think, or Struble actually also had a nice hit early on to feed the crowd some energy. He was he has been really important for the whole season, and it's been nice. He can still be criticized given the how much money we're paying him, you could argue, like, hey, you expect more production from someone that's getting paid that much, but honestly, I don't care. Like, we have cap space. We're gonna have like 14 mil of cap space in the off season, or something like that. The cap space going up, and he's just being an amazing player to see change and adapt his game. I always forget to praise the goalie. I did say Monty was sharp, but I will give him more praise. Congrats, 30 wins in a season for the first time. He was a waiver pickup, and like, he deserves all the praise we can give him. He's been amazing. I really hope he has good playoffs. If we make the playoffs, we're still not 100% sure, and I don't want to jinx us, so I'm not gonna add "and if we make the playoffs." I really hope Monty gets some really nice and good experience from there, and that he shows us what he can do when things matter the most, right? I'm never gonna have a video where I don't praise Hudson, so I already mentioned the ankle breaker play and the play he did by the wall. He doesn't get a point, but he produced that pretty much. He beat Suzuki and Suzuki Matheson, so both of those get the assist on the Caulfield goal. There you go. What else do I have here? I can't wait for Demidov. Like, that second line kind of needs him. I have really enjoyed Kapanen's game. I think he plays fast, he plays hard, and he's fairly smart. I do think he's gonna get like an important role in the future of the team. And like, every game he has played, I think it's been 3 games now, he has had really good scoring chances. He hasn't put one in yet, but I'm sure it'll come soon. I think in the future he will be like a really good third line player, or like third line center maybe. We'll see. Obviously, there's back in our prospect pool as well. So, but I've liked what I've seen from Kapanen, but replacing with Demidov and that line is just so much better. Like there's an argument there for Newhook, obviously not belonging there, and I'm sure he doesn't belong there in the long-term plan. But for now, he's the best option, obviously. So I do want to see that line, hopefully, of Line, Newhook, Demidov. Although it's going to be like a glass cannon line, if you know what I mean. Like a line that is all offense, and neither Line nor Newhook are great defensively. Like that line usually, they either have a very good offensive zone shift or they are trapped in the defensive zone because they're not good defensively. And I don't know how much you can trust the mid-up to be good defensively, like right off the bat. But I'm sure we can trust the mid-up to be an offensive threat. So this is going to be our glass cannon line, and I can't wait. Hopefully we get to see it. I do think once the mid-up starts, he's probably going to start the first game playing not so many minutes, just getting used to North American ice, and hopefully getting some good experience there before the playoffs start. He's probably going to get just 2 games, so I do think it's going to be just like 4th line maybe or 3rd line. We'll see what shuffling they do there. While the rest of some players, maybe if we have already clinched by then. I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. I do think he's going to start 4th line, just playing like 10, 12 minutes, just to get climatized a little bit. Although, if he does start on Monday, it will be his debut in the Bell Center, who's going to be going nuts. So if we have clinched, maybe he will start in the 2nd line and we'll play 20 minutes. I have no idea. I just wanted to mention also quickly that there was a weird blender with the lines going on. I don't know what Marty was trying to do there, but sometimes we saw Evans with Newhook and Line. Don't know what was happening. I don't know if someone got hurt at some point or they were just like on the ice for a while before the other two were able to change, so they changed early. No idea, but I did see Evans with Newhook and Line. Sometimes we saw Dvorak out there, but I'm pretty sure it was because of just the face-offs, and then he would change. And the typical blender with Peseta. So I don't know if there's something else or it was just a coincidence. I did see that they're resting Hudson as well. Like he's not playing as much on the 3rd period after we get a lead so much. He's obviously being targeted, and he got crushed pretty hard by Raymond on a forecheck. So I'm hoping he's okay, because he looks so fragile, honestly. And speaking of hard hits, like Sherrod hit on Suzuki was also scary. Like I haven't seen Suzuki get hit like that for a while. Like he doesn't really get hit. He usually reads the play fast and dodges most of the hits. Like Suzuki is thick. He's really thick, but he's not big. He's not the biggest player, right? He does throw big hits here and there, but like he's not someone that's just gonna absorb a massive hit. He usually dodges them. He didn't get to fully dodge this one, although he did get to prepare, so he wasn't fully surprised by it. But he did fall and was slow to get up, and I was like, oh no. But then he did seem fine in the bench, and obviously was okay because he gets an assist and another goal, an empty netter. So yeah, hoping. I mean, I'm sure every NHL player that has played most of the season is carrying an injury, a small injury, by this point. Like. It's just the nature of an 82-game season, right? So I'm pretty sure that no one is at 100%. But I'm really hoping that our core players like Hudson and Suzuki don't get more injured now, closer to the playoffs, right? Yeah, that's everything I wanted to mention about the game. I did say I was going to add a little bit of a surprise at the end, and here it is. So for my birthday, I was gifted this book, which is a trivia book about the Montreal Canadiens, as you can see. And so after every video now, I want to add just a little quick quiz time. And I'll put the question up here, and the idea is I'll put the answers is multiple answer, like A, B, C, D, and you choose one of them. That kind of question. I think it could be a fun thing to add. Let me know what you think if you made it all this far into the video. So for this question we have, it's related to the trade market. The very first NHL trade ever made by the Montreal Canadiens occurred on November 28, 1918, when the Habs received some financial considerations from the Ottawa Senators. Which player did they give up in return? Option A, Jacques Plante. Option B, Newsy Lalonde. Option C, Tommy Smith. Option D, Michel Savard. I'm pretty sure I butchered the names in French. I'm trying my best, but I will put the names, like the question with the options right here. So pause the video. Let me know what you think. I'll try to answer, and I will post the answer shortly. Okay, I have no idea what the answer is, so I'll be guessing first. Hopefully you guessed also. I don't think it's Plante nor Savard. I think those are players from later stages. So I'm gonna say either Tommy Smith or Newsy Lalonde, so B or C, and I'm gonna guess actually B, Newsy Lalonde. Let's see. Answers. The correct answer is Tommy Smith, C. Yep. Well, I was right on the not being Plante or Savard, but I honestly had never heard of Newsy Lalonde nor Tommy Smith. And this is great because like I've said multiple times, I'm a newer fan to the Habs and to hockey in general. And there's so much history to the Habs organization that I've learned a lot, but I still know so little. So hopefully this and putting it here on the videos will help me and maybe you learn more about the Habs. Anyways, don't forget to leave all the feedback. I really have been enjoying making these videos. I really have been enjoying being a fan of the Habs in general. So it's gonna be nice. The future is so bright, and I'm so glad I'm here for it, and that I'm watching this develop as it has been. So, really important game on Friday against the Ottawa Senators. We could clinch depending on how the rest of the league goes, and then we play Saturday in Toronto. So, rough couple games. Senators have been playing well, although they did just lose against Columbus. But yeah, important games. I'm gonna be there for it. So are you, and I'll see you after that. Go Habs, go!